call a meeting of the Harwich Cemetery Commission to order at 9 o'clock on May 9th. Can we approve the minutes of January and February?
You cannot approve the minutes of
I wasn't here January.
January, but the February ones, did I give them to you?
No.
I printed them. I thought I gave them to you. Oh, yeah, there.
That was a quiz. Yeah, we can do these. So I move that we approve the minutes of the February 1st meeting.
I'll second it.
That would make it unanimous.
Yes, it would. Now, do we want to, since Jim is taking valuable time out of his day first, here, should we start with what he's concerned with this morning?
Jim? What do
Jim's
you,
looking at you like
he's like,
sarcasm.
The grass will keep growing whether I'm here or on the mower. It's
You're
going to
just
keep
missing a
growing.
beautiful
well,
day out there.
I think the first three are going to take seconds, so.
Okay.
Okay.
Email from Emily Barrett on the tree article.
Okay, so years ago, we went to town meeting after the tornado and got funds for planting new trees in the cemetery. And she just was reminding me that we still have a $17,496.
That doesn't expire. Doesn't roll.
No,
into
it does.
disappear.
It keeps rolling over. But she's like, "Can you please spend that money?" So I did. I went out on Monday. I ordered a whole bunch of trees from Agway. They only came to $1,000. We have 5 new big trees that are weeping willows, whole bunch of other trees that we're going to be planting. And I got all the Boy Scouts materials for his Eagle Scout project, which is Saturday.
Okay.
So
I have a question. So if this does not expire, is it just a nuisance on her books?
maybe, but we should plant some trees. I mean, I'd like to get some more, and we are taking down quite a few in
No,
Mount
that's cool.
Mount Pleasant as well. So I think
Yeah.
we need to
I
replant
have no
them.
problem with that.
Yeah.
I have a problem with spending money because we got to spend it.
Yeah, no.
If it's not going to disappear.
Okay.
I mean, we could get another tornado. We could.
Correct.
I mean, look at the weather that just came through last night.
Yeah, it's stunning.
Out of the
isn't
blue. So, I mean, but again, I don't want to ruffle
Yeah.
town hall
it?
feathers.
So are these small trees you're buying, or?
Um,
Because you could get more sizable trees if you wanted to.
we could, but I would rather get more species of trees to add to their catalog for the Arboretum.
Yeah.
So I mean, the 5 that we got yesterday, they're decently sized.
Okay.
Yeah. We get a really good discount from Agway. So, I mean, I think comparatively to what other people probably spend there, we have a nice account there, which I take advantage of.
Cool. Okay. Just questioning. Email from Jan Moore on CPC.
Yep, so Jan was just emailing me about the town meeting on Monday night. We did have one article on town meeting floor from the CPC this year, which was for the South Harwich Meeting House, which was article number 35. And it passed unanimously, and it was for $23,000 to repair the gravestones there. So that's it.
Okay, then we got,
The Veterans Memorial.
Yep.
Oh, wait, do we have any other?
on the other business. I was down,
Is this
At
new
the-
or old?
well, it's other.
Okay.
It could be new.
Okay.
Want me to save it for then? Because the flag's at the Veterans
Yeah,
Memorial
that's on our-
shot.
I think we have something coming up.
That's on our list. That's yeah. Jim's all over that.
Another nag from my position.
I've got a lot of emails on that from Himco right here. So that's going to be in our next thing.
And then we'll move on to old business. Unless anybody else other business,
Nope.
monkey business or otherwise. Okay, Veterans Memorial landscape, hardscape, and benches.
Okay.
Email.
So I had Paul Sweetser go back out and redo the square footage for the bids for the stamped concrete. okay, for both the circle and the walkway, because it wasn't specified exactly. And a couple of the people I sent it to had questions. So he redid that for me, so that those are in the packet for you guys to review. And there was discussion from one of the vendors that we might want to look at. Do you have
Does it
that?
give the square footage?
Up in the upper
Oh,
right
area
hand corner.
walk,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
an area.
yeah.
So just getting back to the walkway, this is one area where I think the stamped would look good.
So we could do the walkway one way, and then the stamped concrete in the center a separate way. So that is
Yeah.
up to you guys what you want to do. So
Yeah, I think the stamped concrete looked, it looked like flagstone type stuff. It's more of a
Yeah,
focal
I mean,
point.
especially since we're gonna have gray benches and we have the gray crown.
yeah.
So this just kinda, I mean, it's,
And what color you wanted the red brick looking?
I think a reddish,
Okay.
not pink and not
So,
maroon.
So for the inner circle,
Yeah, I move that we keep the inner circle as a stamped red brick concrete. And
Do you wanna do a red
and
brick
then
pattern?
explore, I'm sorry?
You want to do a red brick pattern?
Yeah,
Like
sort of
the
like
running
he's got
barn pattern?
drawn here. I mean, right, because that was our original thought for the
Was the
walkway.
brick
It was a
Yeah.
stamped, it looks like brick, but it's, yeah. And then we explore other options for the walkway itself to reduce cost and
okay.
improve
That
safety.
gravel estimate that she
Yeah.
looked at was,
Yeah, I
that
think
looks
that
nice.
needs exploring, and I mean, like,
So I
I'm a
think-
numbers guy, I like to see.
I think I should break it out then and have, because some people, there's more people that will do that aggregate stamped concrete than will do the stamped brick pattern. So maybe I should make that two separate,
Bids,
yeah, because they're different.
yeah.
There are specific people who just do that.
And this one may be harder because it's round.
Yeah,
That's, I mean, that's just not taking I'm assuming they've got some pattern that they,
Yeah, it's a
Right.
big rubber mat that they
that
squish
they
into.
squish in. And
yeah,
so this may take a little bit of a premium.
yeah. Okay, so inner circle, and are you seconding that?
I seconded it.
Unanimous.
Okay.
And because I
Well-
missed last meeting, these are just approximations, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, and then we're gonna probably add a couple more, because I think there's a couple that aren't in there, but we might not do memorials for them, we could just do kind of like a
Well, remember, we have the other side of the walkway to do
gold star.
significant others.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
The Gold Star around 1940, the Merchant Marine around 18 something, you know, et cetera. Yeah.
Work in progress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody needs a hobby.
So while we're on the Veterans Memorial Circle, I had reached out to Hamco on a few things. One was I wanted them to put all of the exact same, what are they called?
You know, I don't know, around the bridles, they put those white balls, that-
To
so it
keep
doesn't,
so that keeps the flag from
and
blowing
not
it.
scratch, not the
Yeah.
cable scratching the post.
Yeah,
Yeah, they were supposed to fix.
they did
one
that.
or- Oh, they did?
They did all of
A
that.
couple of strings.
And, but
those
they
others.
forgot to bring a extra bridle for the main line
Oh,
that
I saw that
connects.
email, yeah.
Yep. So we asked them to, she said she's gonna come down and do that. I also asked about, do we have another vendor? Cause the flag's only held up for 6 months last time. Can we get a better quality flag? She does have another company that does heavy duty fabric, which is different from the flags that she originally gave us, which she is getting me a price for those. I said, can you give me a price, please, and get back to me? I think we're gonna have to have a quick meeting unless you guys wanna just approve it now, but we need new flags.
No, definitely need new flags.
So if it's
they're all
within
tattered.
a certain price parameter, do you just want me to just
And
get
you
them?
guys are still taking them down, right?
We're very vigilant with the
Severe
flags,
weather.
severe
Yeah.
weather, half staff,
Yeah,
up,
see, to
down.
me, knowing that
Yeah,
and flags lasting 6 months,
yeah.
that's,
Well, the ones that she gave us that come with the thing, I'm sure she didn't give us the,
Top of the line.
yeah, so, and I know that, Elaine, right? She
believe so.
ordered some heavy duty different, they were having issues in some of the different areas that are very windy in the town as well. So she got 3 different types, I think, last year to see how they weathered. So she was doing kind of a little,
yeah, Is she as exposed as we are?
Well, she runs all the rec,
we're out there.
rec
Yeah,
properties.
Evergreen. I mean, these are the flags that are at the Overlook, the Witchmere Overlook. We use
Oh,
the
yeah,
same
so that's
flags
exposed,
yeah.
pretty much everywhere. The
Right.
the one that is in the older section of Evergreen at that circle has been holding up great. It's like double thickness,
Yeah.
and it's very well stitched. It's got metal rings where the clips go through. These are good, but they come at a cost.
Yeah, and they can mold out too,
Yeah.
but they can legally be washed.
Right,
And you get what you pay for.
right.
Yeah.
So,
Just one quick,
Yeah.
are our flagpoles, is there like are they stressed for a certain size or weight flag? Because that's a lot of physics on the top. of
I don't know the physics to it. I know that I believe Hamco size appropriated the flags to the
Yeah, but I mean, if we
height of
double the
pole.
weight or
That
triple.
shouldn't
I
that's-
don't-
that
I-
shouldn't be a problem.
I
We've
don't
already
think so.
done it on the older flags in town.
yeah,
So
sure.
Sure, okay.
all right, so,
Well, I mean, I just hate to
so I want
go
to,
this way and then the flag,
yeah,
one of them
so I'd
snaps
like to
or
order
something.
those like,
Yep, today,
yeah,
yesterday.
Yeah. I
just
would-
so that they're in there before
I'll make a
Memorial
motion to
Day.
go ahead and get the heavier duty flags,
I'll second that.
unless the cost is absolutely prohibitive, but.
Well, I can always go on Amazon. We have an Amazon account.
Not if they're coming from China.
Oh, I don't, no, we want American made.
That'll get a resignation letter on your desk really fast.
right.
A lot of them say right now, made in America, before you even
Oh, yeah,
click
I
on
know,
it.
but it's, yeah, sorry.
I would check that.
There's so many things I
Did you
get on
second
Amazon and I go, this came from where?
Yeah.
I can't even pronounce it.
Okay, and you seconded that?
I seconded it, yes. So
I
it's
didn't hear it. I don't have my hearing aids.
Sorry, here, you want to borrow mine?
No. My ears have been plugged for a month and hearing aids just make it whistle all the
Tis
time.
the season. All right, so where are we now?
Walk of Remembrance plan for phase 2,
Which
including.
is the timeline. So, really, we can't really get the timeline till we get the price and figure out when we're gonna put that in. I am diligently working on the memorial. Do you have this?
Yeah, no, I was
Yeah,
trying
I
to
don't
figure-
have any materials for that. So I've been working on trying to finish up the veterans themselves. I actually found a new veteran yesterday. So I am working now with the Yarmouth Revolutionary War Committee. The Chatham has a committee. Eastham has a committee. We're all cross-referencing each other's things so that we don't miss anybody. So the guy in Yarmouth had 6 of our veterans that are buried in his cemetery, but they're our veterans. So he just wanted me to make sure that we're listing them, even though they're in our,
So this is gonna happen.
yeah,
All over the place.
yeah.
I mean, think of the number of graves that are out there.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's pretty up there. So there's over 400 veterans that I have. The records are like unbelievable. Some of their pension files are so unbelievably documented. They have everyone and his brother who they served with wrote affidavits for them saying that they served in this conflict or that conflict. Or,
Not everybody did that.
I know, but a lot of them did.
Yeah.
So anyone who wanted a pension did. So it's kind of nice to see all the history that goes along with it. I did talk to one of the people at the high school, and I'm trying to look at getting one of the high school students to see if they want to, or a group of them, to start scanning in the ones that are completed so that we have files for each one of those. So if somebody wanted to search for them by name, so they could scan in a whole file for like Benjamin Baker or whoever it is, they'd only have to go to Benjamin Baker. They wouldn't have to go through the entire. It would be huge if we had to do it. But I don't know how we would store them or how we would get them up, but I'll have to look at how we make them digital so that people can find them.
It just creates on one of our servers somewhere.
Right.
Yeah, it's a digital database and
Yeah. So I'm working on that. Hopefully we can get somebody to do that. Jim, is there, so should we talk about
Probably.
Yeah,
we talked about the blue flag. Did we talk about the blue flags design?
Not.
No. Okay. So I think we should talk, Jim and I have been, we have a lot of different areas in the cemetery that we originally went out to bid on with Blue Flax Design in August of last year, which they were supposed to do several different cemeteries in Mount Pleasant. They were supposed to clear those old lots that are inundated with poison ivy and regular ivy
Yeah.
that these lot owners have not been able to, can't even access it because they're so
Well, those are
overgrown.
the ones down in the middle on the right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
On the
that's
north
one
side
of,
of
one
the-
of
yeah,
the,
and
one of
there's
the big
one
ones.
at the beginning too. So there's a couple of those. Then we have the Japanese knotweed that is in Mount Pleasant and in Island Pond that they are supposed to be maintaining. And there was a couple of little things that they were supposed to do. So we got a price quote for them last year, and they were supposed to work on all of these things. And we haven't had much movement on that, and we've reached out to them. We did get a phone call back, and they said they start working in May. We did meet with another person who works for a different company who came and met me and Jim down at the island. First they met at Mount Pleasant, and then we walked the areas, showed them what our concerns were, and who would like to actually get going on these projects right away. And I just wanted to bring it to your attention because this is a year old. Almost a year old. It's
They don't seem
9
to be-
months old.
They
So.
don't seem to be too excited about the project.
We actually walked with them in May.
Yeah.
So from the time of the first meeting with Blue Flax, myself, Pete, and Robin walked the site in May.
Was a year ago.
It was a year ago.
Yeah.
And there's been no activity. And I know Robin has reached out to them several times, and I don't want to use the term runaround, but I just did. They haven't given a straight answer. Now things are growing, things are blooming, and
Now's the time
we're
to
a
get
year later, and there's certain windows that they can treat certain things. Some of them they treat while they're blossoming to cut them down. Others they have to wait to interval periods, and time's marching on.
And this other person giving you numbers yet?
No,
Is that-
she I wanted to reach out to you guys to see if we wanted to terminate this contract.
Oh, wait, we have a contract with this?
Well,
with
no,
Blue
we
Flag?
don't have a contract.
Oh.
We had a price quote with them, so we haven't signed a contract, but we did accept this price quote from them, but they haven't done anything.
So if it's not a binding contract, then
Mm-hmm.
I move that we get numbers from this new interested party
Okay.
And move
and
forward.
possibly
So
get
should,
them to estimate a multi-year contract.
okay.
So pending how this year goes.
And I just want to add the lady we met from the second company. She made it clear she didn't want to step on any toes. She wanted Robin to, give the Blue Flax another
Well, that's our
call.
job.
You know what I mean? And she didn't want to be coming in and trying to take the job. She encouraged Robin to reach out, which Robin has done several
Competition's
times.
good for,
You know,
And if you don't hear anything, I would get quotes from this one, and we can make a decision. I mean, we could have a
But should
special
we tell
meeting
them,
too if you need to.
should we tell them now not to do it? Because they could
they
see
could
this
show up any
meeting and
day.
start working on it today.
I would call them and tell them to hold off. They don't seem to be very interested in this.
no,
whole
not a
project.
phone call. That needs to be a letter.
Okay.
A letter that's
Just spells it out.
somehow
Yeah.
we can prove that it was sent.
Due to lack of interest.
Yeah,
Because it also is leading down to what kind of service will we get in the future if they, start and then we have
We are-
recurring things. Will they return or,
yeah. See, the only gamble we have here is,
Time.
well,
Well, because the knotweed, if it's, you gotta spray it while it's flowering.
right.
But we haven't had any satisfaction in the past year, so worst case scenario, we lose more time, but we've already lost
Yeah.
You lost
click
a
of
year.
time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I don't know. I'm just not getting a warm, fuzzy feeling about their customer service, I guess I would say.
Yeah, I just hate to award one.
Well, we're not awarding anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we could have a quick another meeting if, I reach out to her and she sends me back.
Is that something you could email us and we could approve emailing?
The way we do bills?
Um,
Or we could buzz over here. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm around the corner, you're not that far.
Well, it's got a long way to go though, I might be playing golf or something, but we could play.
Well, we'll get on the cart, we'll drive out to it. Well, and while you're looking for your ball.
Probably in Mount Pleasant Cemetery.
right.
I spend a lot of time
So,
doing that.
so I am gonna draft a letter.
Yes.
Yes.
Just
All right,
stating
so
that-
I
Be
move that
polite
we,
but firm.
that
Well, saying
in
due
light of
to-
the fact that there has been no progress.
No progress, yeah.
We are moving on to another contractor. Thank you for your
Time and effort.
in providing an estimate, but we've elected to go a different direction,
Okay.
so.
Sounds good.
Parentheses, cease
And so
desist.
Rob made that, and
I'll
then
second it.
Yeah.
And then get a hold of the other lady and see if she can come up with some
okay,
estimates.
okay.
I mean, she sounds enthusiastic. I like that, you know.
She is. All right, so we already did that. I just want to bring up before he leaves, the Eagle Scout stuff, so.
The project out at Hawkness came out really nice.
Oh my
I went
God!
by
And
saw
it was such a great day, even though it was misting halfway through and then really raining at the end.
He did a great job.
He
and
did,
Joe
he was-
Powers he made some phone calls and
Yeah.
got that to happen.
So
So that
it was very nice. A couple of the people from DCR came and helped. One of the guys helped us work all day. Him and myself, we were cleaning up leaves. We were engaging with the all of the Eagle Scouts. Well, all of the regular Scouts, and then Thomas Chase, who was the Eagles. This was his Eagle Scout project. He did an amazing job. He was very in charge. He took unbelievable initiative that I've never seen a kid his age.
in charge.
Oh my
Yeah,
God,
he
it was
came out
amazing.
really nice.
It was amazing. They pulled those poles out, and he had people, you're on this duty, you're on this duty, you're on this duty. I was like, this is impressive. Anyways, they had all the fencing pulled out and installed in less than an hour and a half, which, these are high school students, you know what I mean? They did an amazing job. Their dads were there doing a level to make sure the fence was leveled, and then they cleaned up all the debris. They must have made 5 dump runs, thanks to Kim. She gave them waivers to bring all the debris which was great for Jim. He didn't have to go and do
That
it.
was very good for me.
And they actually had some Girl Scouts that were helping out as well, which I thought was kind of
They just, that's all changing now.
yeah. So now then, so that one was completed, and now we have Dennis Theoritis. He is doing the old Smith family burial ground on Saturday. We have already picked up all of the fencing.
Mm-hmm.
I picked up all the plantings. His is a little bit different. He's going
We're
to
planting over there too.
they're going to remove all the invasives. There's a lot of bittersweet, and
Yeah.
so they're going to dig out all of that stuff. They're going to plant a whole bunch of native plantings that we purchased. And Tom is in the process of finishing up the sign. Hopefully we can get that in there. And so that should be finished on Saturday. And then the only other one is Jared Cox. He has submitted his proposal last week, and he's pending approval. He wants to index all of the veterans in the Island Pond Cemetery, photograph them, make a digital database with their GPS coordinates and what they served in. So are they, were they in the World War II, and were they Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines? Were they, in the Civil War? All the different wars, so you can search it by anything for veterans. Everyone who was in the Navy that's in the cemetery. Everyone that was in this conflict that was in the cemetery. So he's really more doing a digital project and he's going to teach the other scouts how to also take photographs and enter them into this thing. So I'm hoping they approve it. It's a little bit of a different project.
Now, who
And
approves that? The scouts?
they had to go before there's a board that,
Well, I bet they approve that because that's kind of nowadays,
yeah.
everything's very technical.
Yeah. So we're hoping, but they really like to have you organized, hands-on with other scouts. So this
Yeah.
is the first one that's really digitized. So if he does get it approved, then hopefully we can get another one of the veterans to do maybe
Scouts to do another one.
do Evergreen. That would be fantastic.
Sounds like a cool project.
Yeah. So it's very exciting. Working with these young boys has been great. They are so enthusiastic. I think everyone that's involved in all of these projects have been very helpful, very respectful, and does a lot of good for the town, and it helps them out as well. So I know that they have 2 more next year, I think.
Really?
And so we'll have to think of, or if it's not for our department, maybe they can do it for a different department. But
Oh, I bet we can find something.
so anyway, so I was very happy about that. So they're gonna drop off the materials on Saturday morning.
Yep, Saturday
They're gonna
morning.
come pick up the plants, which are in my office. You can't even move in there right now. But I'm excited about that. And then the only other thing that Jim would probably have interest in is the erosion at Island Pond.
Oh, okay.
So.
Oh yeah, when did that, I saw that in the package. What happened?
So
With
it's
all the
it's
rain?
happened on and off. It's like right on the edge of where the lily pond is,
Yeah,
and there was a little area that just kept eroding and eroding and eroding, and then we filled it in last year a little bit, and then it happened
it's on
again.
the north end of the pond?
Yes. It's right down, isn't it down when the road hits that hollow? It's just
Yes.
down
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
I refer to it as the newer cremation area. The older one would be on the bike trail side.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
the newer area.
And this is not, sorry, I walk by it all the time. This is not where we had the problem with the roadway. Remember we discussed?
No, that's the corner. That's the other corner.
Okay.
That's the other
Right.
corner.
Gotcha, all right.
Yeah, it's the opposite end. So anyway, so they Jim went down. I'll let you tell you.
Yeah, myself and Pete went down there, and we, because it's kind of strict how far we can fill. It was exposing a couple of the flat stones in the cremation area, and the lot owners were concerned for obvious reasons. They didn't want to lose their stones in time. So we went and we put some loam down, and then Pete went to Agway and he got some, I call it jute netting. It's erosion control
Yeah,
netting. You
yeah.
see it at a lot of new construction sites. And we laid some patches down in the troubled areas and put the staples in to hold it so those wouldn't just blow away. And
Grass is growing through right now.
yeah, we just sprinkled some Cape Cod mix that we
Time of
had.
year to do that.
Yeah, in-house. That's not to say
Is it
that
still there after last night?
I believe so. That's not to say that Robin and or Amy doesn't want something a little bit different, but we put something down so it
Yeah,
will
it'll
take
hold
root in
the
the
embankment.
meantime. And the netting will actually, as Agway informed us, is biodegradable. It will just eventually, we don't have to
That'll keep
remove
Amy
it.
happy.
Yeah. So right now, it's doing a job. It looks kind of out of place because, you have these
Emergency.
netting areas,
Yeah.
but it is there. I don't know if you've heard from the lot owners or the lot owner who was concerned about her thoughts, but we did what we could. In a perfect world, we'd fill the heck out of it.
I
but then
did send her an
you can't.
email and a photo. I forgot to put photos in here of what it looks like. But I think it's better than it was. I mean, it needs to. I mean, right now it just has
Do you
been.
think all the water's coming in off the road?
I think what happened was
Down there, or
they
is it just coming
originally
off the
put in
ground?
like a fishing pole thing, right?
Yeah, that was a decorative fishing pole. I don't know if that. I think it's just wear and tear. To be honest
Yeah.
with you, we've had some severe torrential rains over the past year,
Yeah.
and we do run the mowers over those. And the ground pressure from the tires.
Yeah.
We're not going to be doing that anymore. We'll just stay in, more. But you get what you can with the mower to, keep the
Is it
grass
gonna
low.
need something more drastic?
So we went to.
What's that?
Is it gonna need something more drastic?
So we went to Mount Auburn. I went with, and I brought Margaret, our AmeriCorps member, to specifically look at ground covers. So we went with the Garden Club, had a big tour, and we asked them for native ground covers that hold embankments. So they gave us a lot of ideas of stuff that's low growing, that actually kind of flower or do whatever, and it takes over so that you don't have to do any maintenance to it, but it stays low. But then some of them have like little yellow flowers, or they have like another one had little purple flowers.
Vinca minor type stuff?
No, it's a little bit. It's a little
Is it
bit.
myrtle?
It's not myrtle. I forgot the name of it. Yeah, she has them all. She
And this
wrote
is
them.
okay around flat stones and stuff? or-
Yeah, because we'll put it down the embankment to hold the embankment. We won't put it up to the stone. And if
Oh,
it starts
gotcha.
to get closer to the stone, we'll
You
just
can
trim
dig it
it
up.
back. Yeah.
This was actually discussed on our walkthrough with, is it Lindsay? Is that the name for
Yeah.
the second company? We discussed it with her and brought it to her attention.
And she had some
She had
ideas,
some
too.
suggestions. She was
Yeah.
making notes regarding that very area as
Yeah.
well.
Oh, well, that's also good intel.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was
Previous
offering
decision.
she was offering up some ideas, you know.
Yeah. We
some
brought
of-
her over. She saw the erosion. She was like, "Oh, this is what something
Yeah.
that we could definitely handle."
So it's just the rain coming off the grass and the dirt that's there.
I think those torrential ones. I actually have pictures from last June or July. The water was 6 inches up on the stones in that new
From the
little-
pond or from
No,
the
from the
runoff?
rain.
Yeah.
The
It was-
basins couldn't handle it, and it was amazing. It was the stones were submerged.
Yeah.
You know, not in that area, but back in the hollowy area. So we got some bad rains,
Yeah.
and also the mowers aren't doing them any favors. So we're gonna have to just keep them
Yeah,
back
because
a little
it
bit
packs
more.
the soil and then stuff won't grow and then
Right.
it washes
So,
out.
I think it's a combination of things. But
Yep. So that it doesn't look too bad. And the trees that we did plant in that little area are looking great. Probably because we've been getting so much rain.
Yeah.
I mean, they really. One of the weeping willows that we did have in there looks like it has died. I did have Davy Tree come yesterday. They're part of my New England Cemetery Association group. They came. I told them that we had an arboretum, and they said, "Oh, let us come and do a walkthrough." They deal with mature trees, that are going to live to 200 years old, and they look at the different. Do they have cavities? Are they starting to feel? How are the, where it's splitting off on each. So he looked at a whole bunch of our trees. They're going to write up something for us so that I can write a grant. So we can get a grant to maintain the older trees. There's a ton of different companies that do that. And then they would come down like once a year or twice a year just to look at the trees to see if they need any intervention. So he looked at a whole bunch of stuff, and he looked at where the weeping willow was, which was next to the pond that didn't make it. And he thought that we probably shouldn't have planted it that close to the water. That it was too
Even
close.
though willow likes.
The willow likes to be wet, but
Not
the
that
willow likes to have
Not
full.
swim.
It really likes to have full sun,
Yeah.
and it's too shady where it was. So he thinks if we put it in the he recommended we put it in the middle of the cemetery where it's full sun and just water it when it doesn't rain for a week, and he said it would do better. So he didn't recommend us putting it by the pond. So of course then they wanted to bring me, let's go out to lunch. I'm like, no, I'm too busy to do that. But I'm sure that's what they do, for their company. They just take people out to lunch. But I'm too busy for that. So I sent them to Brax so they could have lunch.
But you
or
do
else.
need to eat though.
Not for an hour, I don't. So he liked a lot of the trees. I had him look at the sycamore maple, which is at the top near the lily pond. It does have kind of a cavity at the front of it that I was kind of concerned about, and he said it was perfectly fine. He looked at the Zelkova, which has a lot of splitting in the bark, and I was concerned about that as well, and he said that it's perfect for its age. It's perfectly fine. So he didn't really find anything. He did ask me about our beech trees. We lost almost all of our beech trees. We have one that's in the woods kind of by Cranberry Circle, so he wanted to go look to see if it had any bugs or anything that was going to be a concern that would need to be treated. And he looked at the hemlock trees, and our hemlock trees look so healthy right now. I did not treat them, but they're in that strip where all those landscapers have property.
Oh, okay.
So he said somebody must have done some type of treatment at one point because they're extremely healthy. I said, well, a couple of years ago back, we had these blue kind of like growth on the underside of it. And he says, these are very healthy trees. So he looked at all three of those. Mm-hmm. And at one point, they were covered with bittersweet.
Is it by where Crocker and Snow and all that place?
So we had the AmeriCorps go in and remove all the bittersweet. I mean, it took us forever. It was entwined in the trees.
That stuff's
We cut the
nasty.
bottom and we had to cut some up, but we had to leave some on the tops of the trees because we didn't want to damage the tree anymore, which he could see was still in there. You know, I said,
Yeah.
these were covered. He goes, yeah, you can still see the
Yeah, get
vines
a
is still
cedar
there.
full of stuff.
Yeah. So he thought they looked great. I said, I told him about the trees that were behind there that the people had issue with because they
Oh,
were
yes.
dead in the woods. And he said he would leave them as they are. And he said, if you have a conservation agent, they are not going to allow you to take those down because they habitat.
Yeah,
So
I
he
haven't-
said, I would not even broach that with them because I'm going to tell you right now, they'll say that's habitat and you have to leave it like it is. He said other stuff will grow on it and it'll fill in, but we should leave it as it is.
I
But
like
he
it.
was we spent a good, in the rain yesterday, a good maybe hour walking around looking at the different trees that we had. He gave him some recommendations of where to plant, where not to plant. A couple of them, he said, just watch where if they start to list, those ones are in serious need, which I told him about the one me and Jim had to take down, which all of a sudden overnight the whole tree tipped and I was afraid that
Yeah.
someone would get hurt in the cemetery. So even though it was a beautiful mature tree, 3 weeks before then I thought it was very healthy. Apparently there was something wrong with its root system because it started to decay or something underneath and the whole tree was tipping.
Yeah.
So he told us to watch for that. He goes, because you're a cemetery and you're constantly digging, probably cutting roots to do full body burials, that could happen. So we probably want to just make sure that we catalog and take lots of photos for the future. And if we notice something is starting to list, then we probably want to address it
Sooner
sooner.
than later.
Yeah. But it was a great walkthrough and he had a lot of good recommendations and he'll come back and I'll work with Russ Norton from the Cape Cod Cooperative Extension. Russ is the one who told me that I probably should have someone come down and take a look. And he told me that there were grants that we could apply for. And then that they would do stuff for the mature trees. So that
Sounds reasonable.
that was my walkabout. But that's all the stuff I think Jim really cares about. He doesn't
Okay.
really care about the
Okay.
well.
Well,
Ellie,
Jim doesn't have to leave. He can
stay.
I
You-
told
if
you,
you-
you're more than welcome
Yeah,
to
we-
every meeting.
I'm,
Yeah.
I'm happy to come and shed what little insight I have on topics that
Well, it's all good insight.
relevant.
So
You really don't want to save for budget discussion.
Well,
Well-
probably not.
Well,
but
the
I have
one,
no
the
insight.
one of them is the budget for, where we were gonna do new fee schedules. They didn't wanna hear it before town meeting because they were just too busy with town meeting.
Yeah.
He said after town meeting, we could come forward and talk about it. I did send stuff to them. I don't know if they're gonna act on it or not. I think they put stuff in Link's budget to cover Jim, their overtime for when they do our burials, cause Jim covers a lot of our Saturday burials.
This is the new fees.
This would be the additional fee for if we had
Weekend burial.
weekend burial.
The stuff that we voted on and we're
Yeah.
told to wait until town meeting
Yeah.
so that it was included in the budget and then it would be approved. And what's the problem now?
We still haven't got a meeting with the selectmen.
So it's the selectmen that have to approve this.
The selectmen
at a
just
meeting.
approves new fees.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm gonna send it to them and just have them take a look at it. I don't think they're gonna,
Yeah, it's just a follow-up. They
Yeah.
said wait, so
Yeah.
the budget's done, FinCom's been aware and it should be a formality, yeah.
yeah.
They
It
go-
just,
they
it
go into
helps
effect.
reimburse their
Well,
departments.
that was the whole point.
Yeah.
Was to make it
So we're not losing,
neutral.
Yes.
event,
No cost.
Yeah, zero cost.
yeah.
Yeah.
So we're not, paying for stuff that we don't need to.
Right, and it's not an exorbitant
Yeah.
hike, so
I would think they'd be all over that.
I would assume so, but
So the evergreen sign is in and Johnson finally sent in his bill, which we had approved before, but I put it in the packet so you guys would have it. So the sign is in and it looks great. People are thankful that it's in.
so it
What
took
about-
10 brackets or you make extra brackets?
He made extra ones.
Okay.
Yeah. And so they're all stainless steel now, so they won't. So I don't know if you guys want to wait a little while, see how this sign does before we do another sign, or what you want to do if you want to move on another sign.
Well, what one needs to be done? The, uh, the, 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 Mount
Pleasant,
Pleasant
yeah, I
sign
think the Mount
on,
Pleasant
what is
one.
that?
Which one do
that-
you think is in need of refurbishing?
I'd probably have to check them all,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Why
That
don't
one's
we-
a little out of the way too.
Yeah.
It's not on a main drag.
Yeah.
Along these lines, where are we on the waxing?
That's all done. We need to get
The
waxed.
year-round waxing?
Yeah, so they want us to once a year wax
Make
the
Jim get up and
signs.
leave.
Wax the signs.
Yeah,
Sounds
so you
exciting.
just put,
Doesn't it?
it's just to prevent it from fading.
Okay,
So I mean, it could be something that you have Pete on,
okay.
or, say once a year.
Do they have a time of year that they found is more appropriate than another
I think
time?
they think it's like early spring,
Okay,
like
Before the
probably
sun beats it.
before the sun.
okay.
I'm
Yeah.
assuming you probably use some kind of a spray wax or something and wipe it out.
So did they have a suggested wax or?
You know what, I'm gonna call her to see if she has any recommendations.
I want to
Yeah,
use
and
the
the
proper
easier
stuff.
application and would be the
Yeah.
best.
Yep.
I mean, especially if it's because we don't want them to have to take the signs down.
Right.
Right,
To get leverage on it with a
Yeah.
chamois or
Right,
whatever.
right.
you
yeah.
know.
Or hit it with
Buffer.
a buffer or something.
Yeah.
Spray
Yeah,
it,
yeah.
wipe it down and
Yeah, and,
Yeah.
Just coat
any
it,
inattention and the buffer's taken off
Mm-hmm.
stuff. And it's like, yeah. And that happens, you're, this, oh my God.
Yeah.
The paint's
Whoops.
gone, or,
Yeah.
yeah. How did that happen?
Okay.
all right.
So we have the signs for the old Smith Cemetery. So he's still working on those, Tom.
Oh,
He had to
yes?
get the
Okay.
slate from a different vendor. So they look the same as the other ones. Year-to-date revolving account balance. Well, this is our cemetery budget. We're still in good shape. We still have $1,564.13.
Even though it says negative, we still have.
I know, that's how they do it. Confuses me as well. It took me years to get used to it. And then,
So negative number is good number.
yeah. And then we have the revolving account. We have $44,132.02 because we've been paying a lot of bills lately. We do have encumbered the blue flax, which we are removing. Is that correct?
Yeah,
Yes.
so that will make,
That'll give us
yeah.
35, 36 something.
Yeah.
1 plus 2 4 5 1.
He's a numbers guy.
It's
I can tell.
36,067.02.
So I also have a lot of lots I'm selling this week. I was supposed to do them this past week, but I was too busy. So there are people that are just doing pre-need. I've got 8 lots sold in Pine Grove. I have 4 lots that are being sold in Mount Pleasant to that Greek family, that poor
Okay.
young boy. And then the aunt of him is also buying 2 more lots. And then I have the waste stacks are buying 2 more lots in Mount Pleasant as well. So I'm going to be getting in a whole bunch of lot sale stuff in the next 2 weeks probably. So I would assume it's probably going to be another 10 grand that at least that I'll be taking in. So this is the time of year that I sell a lot of lots because people don't want to look at lots in the middle of the
Heat. Summer.
no in the
What did
middle of
you,
the winter
winter?
because it's not nice out to walk around. So
What did you say rough revenue was
10 grand.
a year?
usually we take in about 50. On some years we take in more than.
Now, does Mount Pleasant have a lot more spaces left? Or
Well, now that we put in that new road. No,
is
it
there,
does.
Is
It
there more
still has.
space there to do that again if you had to? Or we run
I
out
don't
of
think
land?
so. I think that's it. So that space that
It's probably,
that maxed out, but we still have all that stuff that's located on the fence line. So a lot of people just recently have been very interested in Mount Pleasant. I think it's probably because we had that Greek burial and a lot of those people attended. So they've been calling and emailing me pretty quickly, and they all want to get the end spaces that are near that grave space all locked in. And then
Every-
I haven't even reached out to the O'Neill family yet to let them know that that's all done. As soon as I do, I'm sure they'll have other members of their family that want additional spots.
In Evergreen, we have a lot of space there, right?
A ton of spots, yeah.
And Island Pond, we have some too.
Yes. That's still going, right? I don't know.
Yeah, I hope so. It's still counting.
Okay.
And then we get the Ryder Cemetery to do some, and the other one's over in East-West Harwich. We have space
So we
there.
have Pine Grove, yeah, we have lots of lots over there. And there's a whole section kind of in Pine Grove that's kind of Jewish families are kind of in that one row there. And then we have South Harwich, the South Harwich Meeting House. Now I know that Judy Ford's going to buy some more lots there, and a whole bunch of those people who attend the church are going to be buying those ones as well.
That's a good question. How far do you plan on, or is available to extend those lots by where the Fords bought theirs? In other words,
Not far.
Not far.
They're
So you-
just too deep.
you're always going to keep
That
an area
buffer,
for.
kind of parking, kind of. So, and recently, I don't know if you guys have been down to the South Harwich Meeting House property. We could take a ride over after, if you guys want to. We had taken down all the trees that were there, and we're trying to level the parking lot area. The part that goes down in the hollow there.
On the right side, if you enter the driveway, it abuts Mohawk Lane, or whatever.
Yeah. So,
She never put a tool shed out there, did she?
she never did. Well, she's been busy.
That
So,
was, that was almost 2 years ago.
I
So-
know. Well, she doesn't have the money. She's trying to finagle something. She's usually good at that, though. And she's doing this huge production that's coming up at the end of June, the last 2 weeks of June, which are,
Captain, my captain.
yeah, it's going to be unbelievable. It really is. She's got so many people involved in that, and the theatrics inside the building it's going to be spectacular. I think it'd probably be sold out. It's got both
Just about
weekends.
everything's always sold out.
I know. So we're trying to make some more parking spaces because there's always overflow all over the streets, and it's a dangerous street to be parking on. So maybe after this,
Yeah, we can. I got a little bit of time. I got someone coming to the house in a little while, but
yeah,
that's fine.
we can just swing by there real quick. That'll be great.
You can actually see where the last time they did work there was Friday.
Yeah.
When you came out, and they continued on, but right now it's kind of a bit of a standstill until,
Right.
you
And
can
it
see how
poured.
they left it.
And it poured. So we'll have to look at that. So we already did that. So that,
Budget fee schedule, did that. Evergreen's hydro, we did that.
yeah, so the other thing was I put in the June, you saw that? Did you see the June Rockland Trust thing?
I think it's the wrong one. It's dated June 2023.
It is?
Yep.
June 2023.
Oh, it is the wrong one.
Yep, that's last year.
Sorry.
I thought it was just the email packet, but
No, it's mine. It's my mistake.
that's all right.
I was a little busy this week. We'll have to go back to this.
Okay, well, the thing is that very first year, or this statement, which is almost a year ago, and at that time, the year-to-date income was $5,300. So you got to assume that must be the same because dividends and interest have gone up
Yep.
since then. So I'm sure it's doing fine, and
So the only good thing about that is if we needed to, if we were short a little bit on the stamped concrete or something, we could always move some of this funds over to help us. Oh, actually, I brought some of them with me. Which one did I bring? Oh, this is March's. So in March we had, you want to look at it? I can't.
which is that one?
This one is February.
Yeah, so each period, so it looks like monthly, it's an income of about $1,600. So March 2024, year to date, was $10,000 in income.
Okay.
Well, that's
Compared
way
to-
more than that one,
Compared to before, when we got what?
2%.
No,
If that.
we made like $300 for the whole
Right.
year. It was like, there was
so-
no money.
So,
Yeah.
so that, the dividend motor, I mean, I will get on my horse about this. This is how I fund my retirement.
It's not his first ride either, so
Yeah.
we've heard this before.
Steve's getting the duct tape out of his back pocket. I think it's a good, we're gonna lose out on giant stock market growth,
Yeah,
but the income that will fill your emergency fund,
right,
for lack of a better term, is,
It's growing.
yeah.
well, it's a machine.
Yeah.
You just let it go and let it do its thing.
Yeah.
And Rockland, I mean, even though I think their fees were a little high, but the fact that they adjust into dividend-paying stocks and funds will be fine.
So I actually put photographs in here of the work that was done in Mount Pleasant, so you can see when they first started stripping, moving this stuff around, and then this is hydroseeded. And then this is, the last picture is the Japanese knotweed starting to come up. So before it was the entire thing, and now it's only clustered around the trees that we didn't take down.
Yeah, and the sooner we get her after that, the better off it's
Yeah.
gonna be.
So this, I just took this picture. So I don't know if you got, we could look at that too if you want, but we don't have to, but it's up to you.
Yeah, I went by inside, came out nice.
Yeah, it did come out great.
All good projects, all the cemeteries look nice, mowed, everything else, so.
Did this go okay?
What was it?
Your training for,
Oh, yeah. So I went, they did a training so I can update the website. So I can put up our minutes or change the pages around. So if we have a meeting, you say, I want this to be on this level and this to be here. I'm doing training for that, which I actually really like. Way back in my older days, before I started at the town, I was the network administrator for Cape Cod Computers, which was a web-based company for 15 years, and that's what I did. So it shouldn't be that hard.
That's how you and Kim met, I think.
That's how, yeah, because I trained Kim. I brought in Kim's very first computers at Nauset for her to teach the kids on those new PCs, because they had always had Macs. That was interesting. Some of the teachers cried because they didn't want. They did not. They didn't want to use PCs, dude. They were like very upset.
Yeah.
One older lady retired. She was like, I can't do this. It's too much.
Well, that's because you're stuck in the ways at that point.
Yeah. So it can be a little frustrating for somebody learning something new if you.
so are the new sites up?
No, they're not.
Caleb
They
worked
haven't.
on, or-
So we have 2 sites right now,
Yeah.
but they haven't moved them over yet.
Oh.
So pretty soon one will end and the other one will
Oh,
just
I
be
thought the
going.
migration day was 2 months ago.
I don't think it's up yet.
Okay.
Totally.
Okay, do we
Part
have
of it might be, but not all of
Do
it.
you have any other old business?
I don't. I think we had so much business that we covered.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't here last month, but it sounds like we got caught up
Yeah.
on stuff, and
I
like the
did.
change
I
in
did.
direction.
And then next month, we should probably do something, or what are we gonna do about the Bank Street one to clean up some of that front
Jim.
area?
So what do you mean? Like mowing it or?
Like, you know how it come out in it has that big spot that comes out that's all ground covers or something, we
gonna
can do
do
that
a-
to make it look.
Like a turning.
Yeah,
or
Warren
just a
did
straight
ask me if
line?
we wanted to treat it for weeds.
I thought he had.
He did before.
I would
once.
probably treat it with weeds, keep the weeds down, and then we could, if we wanted to do grassy, just so it looks good.
I know it was discussed, and I think that's where it ended. I don't think there was ever a resolution that I'm aware of anyway, that there was a,
We voted on something.
Yeah,
I
just to
think
make it
he
look like
did
it's a
initially, he went in
continuation
and
of
did
the
something
yard.
right away, but he just called me probably about 2 weeks ago and said, do you want me to spray the weeds over at the Bank Street Cemetery?
I
And I
would
said,
make a
well,
motion to have him spray it.
I said I'd have to talk to you guys about that.
I would have him spray
Can we
it.
reference the minutes and see what we voted to do at Bank Street?
Do we have those? We might have them.
I don't remember, that was a winter,
Was it January?
'cause I remember the last time we were all over there was, or maybe that I was over there
Yeah,
taking.
you and I went over
It
there.
was freezing. Yeah, you and I went over there.
No, it's not that one. Might have been.
But you should
This-
probably
this
at least
is
spray the
January's.
weeds there anyway, we think.
Oh, well, you
Before
need
they
to do
become-
something, but that was the part of the discussion was
Well, I think
just
it was-
gonna look like garbage
Yeah,
after,
yeah.
you know, we did all this work, Jim did all this work over there, and now it's gonna be,
Weed field. I would think we'd have him spray the weeds just to keep them
well, we
down.
did, yeah, we need to do something.
I would have him spray the weeds and then
But what about the parking area?
we can come up,
That
see if he's
cedar
got any
tree.
ideas as far as to make it look more, not like a wasteland.
I know there was a bunch of ideas tossed around, and then there was the whole good neighbors thing, because those neighbors are currently mowing the grass, and their
Yeah.
irrigation is keeping it nice.
Well, that's
Do we
always been my
wanna-
point.
Yeah.
Do we want to grass it? We don't really want cars in there because there's a tree. Are they going to get tangled up in the tree? There was a lot of banter, if you will. I don't know what a resolution
Well, at
was.
first we thought of doing a circle,
Yeah.
but the tree's in the way, and we can't get around it.
But is there enough people going there that weren't putting a parking area there?
Yeah, and a parking area would be, well, just to get, I mean, you gotta get people off of that street, and, you know, the grief we all took that day from the lady walking,
Yeah.
because we were parked on the sidewalk.
Yeah. I don't know. That's something that is,
We can park on the grass. I think I'd rather leave it grass so that it looks nicer for the neighbors rather than
Yeah.
doing a big
I
circle.
mean, like you say, how often
Yeah,
is
it'd
it
be a car
visited?
parked there and then you guys pull in to mow periodically, so.
it's difficult too
It has
because
that, literally that American elm that's there is
Yeah.
just so beautiful.
Yeah.
I almost want to take out the tree in front of it so that people can see it, but it's fine. Because it has that evergreen tree in the
Yeah.
front.
the cedar or something. I
Yeah.
forget what it is, but I know that it's kind of a sticky situation because it's between two houses. There's only one visible stone. How many people are really going to walk in? Actually, the fence and the sign draw more attention than the stone will. They'll walk in
Yeah.
and say, "Is this it?"
Yeah.
You know. But that's all we know at this time of the history of it that I'm aware of.
Yeah, some people had chimed in,
Yeah.
relating it to the house across the street.
Yes. Many
Yeah, the
people have
bees.
many theories. I don't know what's fact and what's,
Right,
Well, the bees
Rumor.
owned it. They owned that property.
but nobody really knows
Yeah.
how many people are buried there. There's
Well,
all
him and his
different
wife
thoughts.
moved to Island Pond.
yep. Or buried in Island Pond.
No, they were moved.
Oh,
They
they
were
were moved? Oh, we can document that, huh?
Yeah.
Well, we spent all the money cleaning
Yeah.
it up, and it's, like I maintain, it's in a nice neighborhood
Yeah.
that we don't want it to be an eyesore. When, then you have the, you know, the cost efficiency of
Right.
an old piece of property that may or may not contain more, and what it takes to keep that looking at least reasonable. I think the sign and the fence create a barrier, and people go, oh, look, here's the Bank Street Cemetery.
Right.
And if they wanna stop, they can stop, and then they go, this is it, you
In
know.
front of the fence, we probably just dump loam and spread some grass seed. And
Yeah, the front
let it
needs to
start
look nice.
Yeah.
and
The inside could
back
be more rustic.
Behind it should be maintained, and that's
Grave
your
lead or
area.
something.
So far, though, whatever was sprayed is keeping things at bay.
So if we
I like
Spray
that.
and
Spray-
Gravely is good enough for back there?
So if we,
I think
if
so.
if we spray it one more time, maybe it'll get more of the weeds out of there.
I personally discourage encouraging anyone to want to park there because now they're in a position they got to back out or do a
Bank
K
Street.
turn onto Bank Street with a tree between two houses. I would hate to see an accident
I
happen because
wouldn't
we
put a sign
encourage
or
parking.
Yeah,
That's just my thought.
I would,
Let it
I would
just
keep it all
happen.
grass, let it
Yeah,
blend in with
right,
the neighbors.
right.
okay.
Right.
And
That's how I see it. But
All right, so I'm just gonna have
now
one.
you guys could take care of planting grass, right?
yeah.
In the front,
Yeah, we can plant grass. It's limited as to what comes up because we're, you
no
know,
You're not
water,
watering it.
and
no water. The neighbors do have irrigation, and it makes it look as good as it does now. But we don't really have ways. It's kind of on Mother
we
Nature.
need
what will-
power to
you know.
run irrigation. and-
Yeah, right. And I know that was brought up, and then I was
Yeah.
like, how do you do that? And
I'd get some kind of drought tolerant grass seed. If it's a little different grass, it's a little different grass, but at least it's
Right.
grass.
Right.
And if it starts to brown, I bet the neighbors chip in and go, no.
Just water a
Just
little.
tweak the head a little bit and let it squirt a little farther.
Yeah. But I'm just more concerned that the inside turns into another mess. And,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, even something, I mean, it's ivy and who knows what, so I mean, I wonder if nuking it and then, I mean, Vinca's expensive, but Vinca's low. It
Yeah.
doesn't go
I
crazy.
agree. A nice
Yeah.
ground cover with minimal maintenance would be
Yeah.
Yeah,
wonderful.
something that
You
survives in
know,
the cave.
I don't really want to bring a mower in there if I don't have to,
And
because
not
it's gonna be
ivy.
a dust plume.
Yeah.
You know, with
English
the
ivy
neighbors.
will climb, and
Right.
that's what happened to my backyard.
Yeah.
Killed all the trees.
Yeah. We don't want it in there anyways.
No. Okay, that sounds reasonable.
All right, good.
Now we got new business of paying bills and deeds and
Oh, how wonderful.
Well, that sounds like my cue.
And on that note,
I'm
Nice
outta
to
here.
see you all again.
you too,
Thank
Jim.
you very
Thanks
much.
Thanks for your input as always.
Yeah,
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Until next time.
and everything
Thank
looks
you.
good, so.
We try.
So I had, this gentleman who originally bought in Island Pond, who went to our Veterans Day services and wanted to move his lots. I mean, he pre-bought, so he wants to be in Evergreen.
So he's
So
just
it's
trading them.
just a deed exchange for that one.
Hey, Caleb.
And so that was the only deed that I did. There wasn't really much this month because I was too busy. And then I have the bills, so I'm just read them off each one of these ledgers. So we have the Eagle Scout fencing, both projects altogether came to $2,692 and to All Cape Fence. I have a $38.97 Amazon, which was for my flags that I mark out grave spaces with and for burials. And I got a little sprayer for the D2 stuff so I can do more stones at once. We've got our Atlas Preservation Gravestone Cleaner for the season. Came in, it was $1,011.09. I am going to be having a stone cleaning workshop. I didn't know if you guys wanted to choose a different cemetery. We can do whatever cemetery we want. I wouldn't mind doing Evergreen this time because we are going to be having a huge event when we have the dedication, and that way we could get a jump on it.
It sounds good.
Web services, they updated some more stuff for the websites that we have going. John Forgier's Hawk's Nest Repair for those Ebenezer Eldridge stones and stuff. And I have to tell you, the DCI people were very impressed by his work. So they had their person come from the state who does all the gravestone restoration for other things, and he walked her through. You were there that day. He walked her through everything that he did, and she was pretty impressed with all of his work. I am sending her. I have some updates I still owe her. She wants to know when we originally installed the stairs at the cemetery and when we originally installed the.
On Hawks Nest?
Yeah, I'm just gonna have to go through our annual reports to find that. I couldn't find the actual date, but I'm sure I'll have to go through either the bills or something. Johnson Welding, which was already in the packet for the signed in Evergreen. Eversource bill, which was $16.05. South Harwich Water. These are all the waters to turn them on. Some of them are 45 and some are 95. So it's South Harwich, Island Pond, Mount Pleasant Building, North Harwich, and Pine Grove. The guys, when they went out to Pine Grove, even though they had fixed something in the well pit at the end of the season that was broken, there's something else that seems like it has a little issue. So they called their...
That's where we had the water leak? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So they had their guy go back out there, and I think they have to order one more part. So that is not on. They turned it on from the town side, but our guys have it turned off until he comes back and fixes one more part.
And the water turn-on fees are to who?
They're to repay. We have an account that it's in my budget every year to turn them on and turn them off.
And who does that?
The water
The
department.
water department goes out there and turns them on and turns them off.
Because they're either pulling the meters and putting them back in or just shutting them off.
Right.
Sometimes, I know like houses and stuff, they'd go and just pull the meter.
To turn them
In
on.
Brewster, they did, yeah.
Okay.
And then we have Matthew Eldridge's hydro seed for Mount Pleasant, which was $1,240. And then New England Cemetery Association annual meeting is $275. That's the one I'm going to. So lots of bills for you people to sign and for me to input.
Just one page.
Just one page. I didn't do my mileage. I didn't have time. It's a very busy couple weeks.
Then we gotta pick our next meeting.
Yes. I didn't even bring my calendar.
Yeah, I got mine right here. Those Cindy's.
In June. I am leaving on the 15th.
Okay,
And coming back
wait,
on the
We
22nd.
usually have it the first.
First Thursday would be the 6th.
Yep.
That works for everybody?
Yep.
Okay.
It's weird.
So far.
Well, I don't know about Cindy, so she had surgery today and I don't, you know.
Oh, that was today?
Yeah, it was this morning.
Well, it may not be the 6th, it says the Chamber of Commerce is having their golf tournament. I thought it was the 8th, but it's usually a Thursday, so it'll be the 6th.
Are you in that?
Yes.
All right, so can you check back with me before I post it, just to confirm?
So
Yep. Let me ask
what
my
about
sister.
Tuesdays?
He has something on Tuesdays, right?
Yeah, I have my Bible study in the morning.
Oh, yeah.
And I need that now.
Yes, you do.
Oh, I forgot to mention this before we close.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, too late.
The Memorial Day ceremony at Brooks Park. Shawnee has been working and she's got an amazing speaker this year. It's a mother who is a Gold Star
Wow.
mom that's going to be speaking, Cindy Jones. So Shawnee says she's amazing. So we'll have the a cappella group, we have the Boy Scouts, and all the other people that, you know, usually attend this. So she's very excited about this speaker. So I told her I would mention it at the meeting. Okay, so that is Monday, May 27th at 9:30 at Brooks Park in Harwich Center. Okay?
Okay, let me just double check on that. But we can sign out. I'm just looking for a date. So I have a motion to
So moved.
close at 10:06.
10:07 or 8.
Something like that.
Bye-bye.